Souls, talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world with the mind of those who see beyond the three-dimensionally. Souls, talking brain. Ask the right questions, uncovers the blinds.
Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, hey!
Hey,
Hey, hey!
Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. I don't know why I'm doing that.
I was thinking like that all of a sudden. I don't know. Welcome, everybody. This is Souls Talking Brain.
Brain.
On
Don't do that.
Being Love channel. Don't ever put your gum down on any kind of furniture. That's just a rule of thumb for you.
Okay, it's not the gum on the
Yes.
furniture. It's the cat wanting to play with the gum
Yes.
on the furniture.
Cat, gum, furniture don't mix very well.
Anywho, moving on. That was
Moving
not
on.
information that was required to be shared, you know.
Today is a very snowy day, actually.
It's also
here.
a very special day.
Yes, it's a special
Oh,
day.
thank
Well,
you. You said it was
it's
a
just-
snowy day.
it's just an
That was
amazing
great
day all
reminder.
around.
Yes,
First of all-
mind.
I think we're just talking on top of each other. That's good. We could do that. What's the date today? It's the second? Second. Today's February 2nd, 2011. And
11.
here in Toronto,
11.
we're broadcasting live from is major snowstorm going on.
I wouldn't say it's a major snowstorm.
Well, right now it looks like it's
I would just
quite
say that there's some big monster flakes falling. They're quite gargantuan in size. It's quite beautiful. But major snowstorm would be like blizzard, you know, like major. She's not from here.
No.
Okay, so for her, this is a major snowstorm. And evidently for Toronto and, you know, the army here in Toronto,
Yes.
it's a major snowstorm. But there's no major swirls of wind happening. There's no major blizzard thing going on. It's just snow falling. It's a lot of snow.
It's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's not a, like, storm.
Wherever you are in the world right now, and if you are joining in, hope maybe in your area the sun is shining, in some areas you're raining.
Imagine
and,
there are people somewhere in the
somewhere
world right
sitting
now
on a
where
beach right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Can we come?
Wherever you are tuning in from, welcome, and we are happy that you are here with us today on Souls Talking Brain Show.
Did you notice that Aline got taller suddenly?
I did suddenly get taller. If you've seen any of our previous shows, you would notice that I'm a little bit lower than Ron over here, but I do have some kind of padding going on underneath to sort of align me here, you know.
Sorry, I just...
You just had to, right? It's like the gum.
I had to bring it back, see? Balance.
Now that you're all aware of what's going on, let us make you aware of what our show is about today here on Souls Talking Brain.
Getting a little more serious now.
A little bit more. We're going to be talking about a topic that has to do with the wellness and wisdom niche community industry. The holistic
Spiritual
industry.
counseling. To
That's right.
charge or not to charge?
Or not to charge.
That is the
That's the
question.
It is the reason we're picking this topic is because there's been a lot of opinion on people's viewpoints on the industry and concerning work and the career out of it, as well, and the charging of the services. which, I think it's important to bring up because that is the industry that we are in, among other things. And we've had many different point of views and discussions over it that has raised a lot of, I don't want to say
Controversy.
hoo-ha. Controversy, yes. It has raised a lot of controversy, and I think it is great to open this topic here today on Soul Talking Brain show and get your input and see what you think, and share our experiences as well on, as a whole.
And the chat seems to be working, which, by the way, the chat is just close to Aline's face. It's just over there. See, I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, you're trying to
not
be nice
do this,
and
and
not
then
do
you
it.
do
I'm
the,
like,
an ET thing, and then now they're going to get confused and think. So,
it's
just
over to my my.
to the right of Aline.
Yes, thank you.
Just a little up on the top. So if you just go along the line of the box here, you will see two tabs. One of them is called Social Stream and the other one is Chat. And that's how we get to interact. So you can actually partake in the show.
Yep.
It's live, so it's happening in the now. So if you're here watching, if you go to the Social Stream, you sign in with any one of your social networks, you can communicate with us as well that you can through the chat tab, which you would sign in with a Ustream account. And if you don't have one, you can sign up for one. There's no cost, and then we can communicate as well. So we really would love to hear from you on this subject matter. It is an important subject matter. It is very multidimensional in its breadth as far as the different aspects that we will be looking upon and how much of a comment it is on us as a global family, and how we regard ourselves in this current now of our manifested experience here. So, and as Aline was saying, there is, well, she said hoo-ha, but there is quite a bit of controversy, because as many of us as there are, as we know, there are almost 6.8 now, or 6.9 billion. There are different perspectives, different ways of looking at the situation, as there is for any situation. And this one seems to be a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
And the responses, or more aptly stated, the reactions that are garnered can be at times quite impassioned and not necessarily in a positive way. So we definitely want to maintain an environment of positivity here during our show, Souls Talking Brain. So whilst having the discussion, we do ask that everyone is respectful of one another. This is a sharing of ideas, and people have different ideas. They have different perspectives, and we are open to hearing them all. And instead of being a combative experience, we would like it to be merely
a discussion,
a
sharing of opinion,
yes,
and perception. It is also important that, for us, it's very important that all of you out there are also aware that there is absolutely no judgment on our end, nor shall be received as judgment. It is very important, actually, judgment in any case. People judging people's opinions just because somebody has a different opinion is automatically judging the individual based upon their opinions. So we here at in Soul Talking Brain show on Being Love channel, it is extremely important that judgment has no breath, and that it is that's the main thing, is that it's never an attack on anybody. It's merely our choosing how we choose to see how somebody else thinks, right? Just making a note of that.
So having set forth our disclaimers with respect to today's show, why don't we get into the subject matter?
That's right.
So spiritual counseling, which for the purposes of space, we only used spiritual counseling, but really what we're speaking to is anything to do with the alternative healing arts. And truly, when you expand upon that a little bit, the same issues are faced by artists in general,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
These are wellness artists or
Mm.
artisans.
Artisans.
But I do believe that artisans in general face these issues. Yes?
Yes.
Anything that's
Yes.
not standardized by the government
Yes.
faces these types of issues.
Yes.
But definitely, in that we already start off with a name of alternative.
Yes. All of a sudden, yeah.
Right?
Yes, I guess that's where you begin, right?
You're already
You're
beginning
right. Yeah.
from the alternative as
Mm.
opposed to the allopathic, which
Mm.
is the formal name for standard medicine is
Right.
allopathy.
Right.
So there's allopathy
Medicine
and then
in medicine, the word is
standard
allopathic? Right.
medicine is
Right.
allopathic
Right.
medicine.
Right. Right. Right.
Whereas this would be either alternative medicine, complementary medicine, holistic medicine, and any one of the other names. Standard medicine is allopathic.
Right. Right. Allopathic is standard, and alternative medicine is the natural medicine, which I think the word alternative in and of itself is a big indicator or instigator.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
from a negative perspective.
Completely, because
Yes.
you're the alternative. You're not
The standard.
or the
The
first choice.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really great that you actually said that. I didn't.
Yeah.
I did. See, I love that.
Aw, thank you.
It's a great way to begin this show, actually talking about this topic, because this is really where it all sort of stems from. Well, what sort of? It really is the root of it all. Actually, it is. It's the beginning.
Well,
of
and
where-
artists also,
why there is all these controversies.
and then artists also, right? They are taking an alternative pathway to the standard, straight and narrow of
Well,
the
yes.
professional.
Yes,
right?
the artist is the rebel. It's seen as the eccentric. It's seen as the also alternative, as the standard, quote unquote norm, which was our show 2 weeks ago, which is what is normal. And where did it even begin from? Where did alternative medicine come from? Well, because it wasn't something, which is actually, you know what? It's so funny. Is
That's an excellent question,
How did somebody? Well, thank you, Ronnie.
How did
Well, thank you. How did that even begin? How was it stated that all of a sudden it is the word being used is alternative medicine? Because if I remember, or into my awareness, natural medicine, which is now somewhat people call quote unquote alternative medicine, really is how medicine began.
Yes, isn't that
So
amazing?
how did it become the alternative? So, right?
Yes.
Well, that's just a fact.
Came the alternative when there was no money to be made in it anymore.
Yes.
Oh. And there we come to our
And
question:
yes.
spiritual counseling,
Mm.
to charge or
Or
not,
not
to
to
charge?
charge.
That is the question.
I feel like we're being Shakespearean today, obviously, because it's the, to be or not to be.
Well, yes.
Yes.
I mean, we started off medicine, and the basis of all medicines
Is nature.
is nature. The standard allopathic medicines still are derived from natural medicinal plants
Yeah.
and other medically, well, I don't even want to use the word medically, but other healing agents that we find in nature.
Yeah.
This is what the medical industry's solutions,
Mhm.
treatments are based upon.
Mm.
What they've done is that they've found ways of chemically
Alternating?
not
No,
alternating,
altering. No?
of cloning.
Right.
They have found ways to chemically clone. Isn't that the word of the decade? To chemically clone
Yes.
the natural agents that are found
Yeah.
in Mother Earth,
Yes.
Mother Nature.
Yes.
And because they found ways to chemically do it, that means that there is less expense in having to go and plant the plants or find the plants and then to take the plants from the ground and have to put them through the process of getting the medicines out of the plants. They just put together this little chemical compound that it can be put together in a laboratory somewhere. So the expense of doing the gardening
Yeah.
is taken out of the equation.
Right.
But then they're charging for this chemical compound that they've created in their laboratories more than what is required for farming purposes, for example, to grow the plant and then to plow it and then to so it's become a commerce that is scaled to the allopathic medicine, to the pharmaceutical industry, as opposed to honoring where these things actually came from to begin with.
Yeah.
And in fact, the place that they've come from to begin with has been pushed down all the way from those who are offering the services, whether it's spiritual counseling or massage, astrological guidance. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's a vast amount of people that are incorporated in this industry, naturopathy, so on and so forth. But all the way to the farmers who now are being strongholded by the government to have to be utilizing chemicals in the natural foods.
Okay, but you know what though? Life in general has become everything about money. So it kind of eradicates that aspect has become about the business, because really life has become about business. At the end of the day, the world we live in right now, everything is money, right? But what more importantly gets to me is that people who never say anything or haven't made a controversy in the past before as much as now regarding holistic or natural alternative medicine and charging the services for those services, as
charging
example,
money
for these services. For
Okay.
example, psychiatry and doctors are exactly the same thing as it's in the same industry. It is the same industry as wellness. Okay, wellness industry is about your health, your wellness, your well-being, your mental state, and everything that is to be of your healthy living.
Okay,
that's what wellness industry is. It includes surgeons, doctors, everybody who is psychiatrists, all kinds in that
fitness
way.
trainers.
You have never heard somebody go up and say, well, why, or attacking a psychiatrist, or attacking a surgeon, or attacking a nurse, or any kind of doctor, about why they're charging money to provide those services to people, when the services that they are providing, which is their job as well, is to assist and to help.
Yes, for
Okay?
the well-being of others.
For the well-being of others. Why is it an issue, which is what we're asking, is why is it an issue, or why is there controversy around alternative medicine, alternative health services
yes.
and wellnesses and counseling and so on and so forth, an issue for them to charge money for their services, which is what they do. It's the same thing as assisting others. Why is it a problem if they charge and not the doctors?
And I would like to, so then here are some comments that you hear. For example, the medical doctor has to go to school for a number of years in order to do that which they are doing.
Yeah.
People who do what we do go to school to do what we do.
Yeah.
And whether it is a nutritionist or an enlightenment guide, which is a label that is attributed, that I use personally, but could just as easily be psychotherapy, also go to school. So why is their education not recognized?
Right.
And why, if someone is going to, we went to standard school, but we also went to, again, here comes the word, alternative schooling, where we studied under mentors and we had independent, individuated studies. Why is that not recognized?
Yeah.
Which again, our educational system, just like the medical industry, started off not in a regulated construct, but by learning in the homes, by learning in the community. And now, unless you have a piece of paper with your name on it, which I call an expensive piece of toilet paper, by the way, my psychology degree from McGill. Thank you very much. In comparison to the 20 years of independent mentored studies I've had, right? This is how education used to be.
Yes.
And the on-site training that one gets, in comparison to that which one receives in school, even people who are in the medical industry, who are professionals in accordance to the regulated fields, whether it's educators or doctors, so on and so forth, recognize and acknowledge that the best training that you can get is when you're on-site training.
Yes.
They will tell you, oh, well, whatever you learn in school is only book knowledge. You don't know anything till you're in the field.
Yeah, in the field, yes.
And they will tell you the same thing with respect
to... And then they tell you without the institutionalized degree paper, then you are not experienced enough.
You're not worthy. And then with the same thing with respect to the services, for example, if you go and you speak to a medical doctor of the physical, so not the mental, not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but a medical doctor, for someone like an oncologist, somebody treating cancer, for example, they will acknowledge and will tell you outright that an individual's mental, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional state of being has an enormous effect upon their physical. In fact, forget about the cancer doctor. If you just go to your general practitioner, if you are having pains in your body or if you are experiencing maladies, the first questions they will ask you are, what's going on in your life?
Yes.
How are things?
Yeah,
are you feeling stressed?
Yeah.
Well, are we not acknowledging then that the esoteric, the unseen, that which is covered in alternative medicine is not having an effect or is not the cause of what is occurring on the physical?
No. I think I think the people who are against the idea or in their perception perceive that it is not right to charge for natural medicine or holistic wellness or guidance services, because when you're coming from a more holistic, more esoteric or spiritual mindset, that whole mindset is a lifestyle that is of unity and assisting each other as our universal family. So then therefore it kind of, I guess they find it that it conflicts with the money world, where how can you say that it conflicts when you're existing here in this world? Then that means you're conflicting on this world. Anything that you're a part of in this world, you're either in it as a whole, including the negative, including the things that are not the way we would like them to be, even the things, the different beliefs, the different religions, the different everything. If we pick one out and say this is how it's supposed to be, then you are demeaning everything that you stand for.
Okay, I'm going to need you to explain that a little bit more.
An individual who comes from the spiritual lifestyle, holistic lifestyle, the holistic belief system, a more new age mindset lifestyle. A lot of these people.
I like to say that we're it's a
I'm just using these terms because
conscious awareness.
Conscious awareness.
An individual who is consciously aware.
Exactly.
Yes.
And living it consciously aware.
Yes.
Okay. If it's mainly these are the people who have the problem.
Yes.
Okay. Which is why it's incredibly important to address this, because if these are the kind of people that believe in what they believe, and believe in the sense that we are one, and the unity and love and unconditional and love of your family members, then in that system of belief is that there's no judgment. Everything that it stands for, the holistic and spiritual mindset, is that nobody's judging anybody, and that you're loving everybody as an equal,
Yes.
and you are assisting each other through the means of love, right, and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the most important thing is that coming from a spiritual mindset, you are not a dogmatic individual. That is what a holistic, that's what somebody who provides meditation guidance, Reiki, one-on-one guidance on a soulful level, massage therapy, astrology readings, all of these different services that go under the holistic services. These are people who are aware. These are people who are supposed to be that mindset. And the people who are more than others who are against the fact that they should be charging for these services.
So you're speaking to people who are actually in the industry that are speaking against other people in the industry
who are in the same industry but are charging for it, and they're not, and they think that they should not be charging. Well, we live in this world. We're not living in a world where everything is resource based yet.
But we will be soon.
Okay? We are living in this world where people are honoring themselves if they are doing work, or whatever they're doing in their day-to-day life, whether that's a career or whatever it is that they're doing, giving services, whatever that may be, that hoping that they're doing something that they love to do. And the person who is doing that and doing it to also assist others, as opposed to just making a product and selling it, as opposed to a service that you're providing for the wellness of somebody else and assisting somebody else in need, like another individual, another human being. Well, if that's what you're wanting to do, how are you going to survive in this world that we live in, that is an economy-based world? This is the system that we run on, period. It's how we are born into this world. We're living here.
Yes.
Okay?
So
we're not living in utopia yet. We're living here right now. Okay? How could you go on and do something that you hate so you can make money, but do what you love and not make money? Well,
it's contraindicated.
It's very it's the one thing that bothers me is that the people who are coming from a spiritual mindset are also judging others in a negative way and saying what you're doing by charging money is wrong, because it goes against everything that they stand for, is judgment. You are becoming judgmental when everything you believe is to not be judgmental.
Okay, so you're speaking to people within the industry itself.
Yes.
And people within
those are the people who have the controversy. Those are the people who are...
no, there's people outside that also have commentaries.
Yes, but the majority are the ones who are angry and the ones who are having a negative...
Who are making
commentaries on a negative level.
More so.
More judgmental are the ones who are coming from the holistic and spiritual
lifestyle. So we are basically devaluing ourselves.
Exactly.
Essentially. And that's quite a comment, isn't it? That we are devaluing our contributions here upon our earth school. But it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
To be in this dichotomy, this dynamic of this paradigm of thought where you have on the one hand a being who is consciously aware of how we should be living, and that the possibility for us to be living as a resource-based or a communal universal family. In other words, that everyone on the planet does whatever it is that they love to do and gives it away. If everybody is doing what they love to do and is giving it away, that means that whatever you require, you can receive because it's being given by somebody. And whatever you love to do, you are giving to anyone else who so desires to have it.
Right.
And thus,
And
everybody
is able
giving and receiving and getting exactly what they require and desire. It's not the world that we live in currently, however. So, coming from a conscious awareness of knowing how things should be becomes a dichotomy for the individual who is consciously aware to be charging, especially when that which you are charging for is a service to uplift another human being and to assist them to be the best that they can be. So I think one of the best examples that I received was when speaking to an individual who provides guidance to individuals who provide guidance. So she's a therapist's therapist. And what she had said was, when you go to a standard doctor who is treating cancer, for example, if your body is diseased with cancer and you are looking for a cure, you will pay and do whatever you can to heal yourself. When you are...
Yes, that's good. I like that.
Yes.
Yes.
It was quite inspiring.
Yes.
So, and I'll explain why we had this conversation in a moment. So when you are going to seek guidance from one who is dealing on a more esoteric level, so not with the physical body, but with your mental, emotional, spiritual body, so that would be somebody in the holistic industry, they are treating the dis-ease, the illness, the cancer of your soul. And as we have seen in the medical industry, as has been acknowledged, that which occurs on the level of the physical is the last level. What happens on the physical level is more often than not stimulated by that which is happening on the esoteric level. Therefore, going to see somebody who is practicing holistic medicine is going to see somebody who is going to be able to assist you, that you don't need to go to see the person for the physical. And so if you are willing to spend and do anything to cure yourself of the cancer, what are you willing to do to ensure that you never get it in the first place?
Exactly.
How do we measure the value and worthiness of being able to avoid physical dis-ease? And we're so easy to value it on the other end.
So easy on the other end, but when
so high do we go, because not only do we have controversy with respect to whether or not somebody should charge, but then there's controversy as to how much should someone charge.
All of a sudden,
what is the
value of
what
it?
is the lifestyle that you are worthy of having if this is what you are providing? Should you be and I had a conversation today with somebody on Facebook. If you go to my profile, you will see the conversation in which the individual was stating that we should be charging a nominal fee. A nominal fee meaning the base minimum, as little as humanly possible. Okay. So we should just be surviving then? So those who are dedicated to uplifting, assisting,
we should just be
and enlightening others,
just to get through
should
to the next
just
day.
Be getting by. So does that mean that those within the holistic field do not deserve to be having any of the pleasures that life has to offer?
Exactly.
And how do we determine what that is?
I wanted to bring what you just brought up right now. When it comes to the people themselves, they will spend however much they can just to take care of themselves. We all do, right? Food, okay? Food. Simple thing as food. That's the first thing that we require well, maybe it's the second, water is the first, in order to survive and live. Basically, be able to breathe and physically be able to be here on this planet. Food. Okay? Think about this. This is where I'm going to go with this.
Pondering.
How much money do we spend? We have no questions, no arguments when it comes to, food that is given to us through nature. Okay? It's provided to eat, to nourish ourselves. It's for nourishment. It's the first thing before your mind, your any kind of coaching or any kind of meditation or any other yoga services. Food is the first thing you require before any other services. And guess what? It costs money to feed ourselves. And it costs money to live. So, if we are more than happy to go and spend all the money we can on ourselves, including clothing, and everything else that comes with that, shelter, but we're not to give money to somebody else who is providing other means of assistance. It's very interesting to me that people in this world, and we all do it, even though not everybody does it on a day-to-day basis, but at least some point in our lives, every single individual on this planet has done that. Take something, blow that out of proportion, and leave everything else behind. Because at the end of the day, none of us really have the right to judge what is the right way or what's not the right way. Is we have opinions, we have perceptions, and what works best for the individual works best for the individual.
But it's very subjective.
It's very subjective. And we all have done it.
Yes.
But it is extremely important in today's topic that we are talking about is the industry of the holistic and spiritual industry is enough is enough. With people putting it, devaluing it down as an industry that they should not be charging.
But it's not just the industry, right? Are we not as a global society devaluing our own worth?
That's what we're doing.
Are we not putting ourselves down?
Yeah, when the whole thing is to uplift. The whole spirituality is uplifting.
Yes, so it becomes we place more value in things.
Yeah.
People will invest in the stock market.
Yeah.
They will invest in land and property that will...
Clothing, jewelry.
So on and so
cars,
forth. Yes.
You name it. Things.
And yet, we don't give anybody... I was going to say a bad word. We don't give anybody any for charging X, Y, and Z for this stock or for this land or so on and so forth, as we do for those who are providing these services.
Yeah. Especially
so
the doctors.
It becomes a question.
Especially doctors, because it's the same field. It's the same similar field. We don't give...
Well, and that's government regulated as well.
Doctors,
so that becomes a...
and actually, doctors, people who are the ones who help us, who save people, okay, keep us alive, are actually respected enough that we say that they are valued enough that they should be charged the highest.
That they should be charging the highest, yes. Amongst the highest, yes. Mm-hmm. Them
when they're doing the same thing as the service when it comes to the alternative medicine, which is the exact same thing. So where does
variations?
So then yes, it becomes about the value.
It
becomes about the value. Yes. Then what is it about what is it that people are devaluing?
Is themselves. We're devaluing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're devaluing human life itself and valuing a building, for example, over life. And that's something that is amazing to think about. That we are so quick to go and spend the monies on these things
Mhm.
and not to question and not to criticize
Yeah.
the companies who are providing the things, but so quick are we
Yeah.
to question and
question,
criticize
yes.
those within the holistic industry as well as artisans in general.
Yeah.
What makes you think that your piece of artwork is worth something? Well,
Yeah.
what the hell makes that one worth anything?
Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
to say
yeah,
what's worth anything?
Yeah.
And really, our entire world
Yeah.
is a subjective experience of what we have chosen to deem that which is worthy and that which is
Which is
not.
Mhm. Yeah.
And with respect to what you were speaking to earlier regarding the fact that we live in an economic world currently, there's the alternative perspective by which we can regard money. And I think it's important because a lot of people get all critical because they see money as evil.
Yeah, well,
Money is
I think
just energy.
That's another big thing. Is I think that's one of the biggest ones when it is coming from the spiritual and the holistic community.
Is how
because
your money, you're
mon-
all
it's
greedy
seen
and
as
everything.
money as evil.
How is it
you know?
greedy if someone is receiving money
Yeah.
that is going to assist them to survive,
Yeah.
to thrive,
Yeah.
so that they can assist
Yeah,
thousands of more people?
Yes.
It's not the money
Yeah.
that's evil.
kind of hypocritical.
It's what the people are doing with the money.
Yeah,
Money is just another manifestation of energy.
yeah,
In fact, it's one of the most beautiful manifestations. It comes from nature. It comes from trees. It's paper, which of course we would love to keep as the tree.
yeah.
It would be nice that there
it
was
would
no
be-
money at
at
all.
all. That would be nice.
But unlike oil
It is-
sludge, for example, right? Money is from a tree. And
Oil
it's just,
sludge?
well, I'm just saying, like, it's one of the most beautiful things of our products that
Yes.
we've processed.
Right, we made it out of nature.
We
Well,
have
everything is
we're-
part of nature.
Well, everything
yes.
comes from, yes.
Everything we all do.
But
Yes,
in the processing,
Yes.
it doesn't really
I got you.
cause any negativities
Yes.
to our Earth school,
right.
We
Mhm.
can recycle it. We
Mhm.
can,
Mhm.
anyways.
Mhm.
So it's amongst the more beautiful of our products that we've
Yes.
created,
Yes.
and it's just energy.
Mm.
It's what people do with this energy, how people choose to use it. Are we regenerative with it? Are we giving back to society and our Earth school with the monies that we have?
Yeah. I see what
Right?
you're saying. Yes.
And so then that also alters the entire conversation
Yeah.
that we're having as well, because for many people there's this concept that you need to be a monk or a nun or live that type of a lifestyle
In order
of
to
poverty in order
in order to be
in that industry.
a being of light.
Yes.
In order to be a being of light, people have this notion that they should be poor, or the same
And
sort of.
so
or
many
the
of
same-
us
or
have lived
or the
the
same
life of a pauper
Yeah.
because of that,
Yeah.
because we have been
Yeah,
self-deprecating.
because that's what society.
Oh, I
is
can't
saying.
charge because I'm doing
because it
something
goes
out of
against
love
what we
and
believe.
heart, and,
Yeah.
and then we wind up being the ones who are
Suffering the most.
desolate. We're the ones who are having to go onto welfare or beg in the streets
yeah,
or ask
yeah.
our friends or family for assistance.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
all this because of a perceptual reality
Yeah.
that money is somehow evil,
Yeah.
and that giving love
Yeah.
means that you need to suffer.
Yeah.
What,
It has no it goes against itself,
which is what you were
it goes
saying at the
against
beginning
itself.
of the
it's
show.
it's a complete contradiction within itself. You cannot be one thing and say something else and try to still be that one thing,
Because then you're not loving
because then
yourself.
you're not exactly.
How are you supposed to love others if you're not
If you're
loving
not loving
yourself
yourself.
first?
It's also the whole thing is that, coming from a consciously aware individual's holistic lifestyle, which is what we're talking about, is the whole thing is that we should all be living on a resource-based lifestyle. That is really what the bottom line is that what they believe, and
Everybody
what
should be sharing.
everybody should be sharing
Whatever you have.
Yes, there should not be. There should, this is what we would like it to be in a world that is utopia-ic. Is that even a word? Utopian.
You
Thank
can make
you.
up words whenever you want.
Thank you. And also serene and
Who's
peaceful.
to say that the words we have are the right ones anyways?
The world that we can make sure that is a peaceful world is if there was no money. Granted, yes, this is very true. This is very true, and she's sliding me down.
I'm sliding down. Sorry, everybody.
But we don't live in this world right now. We are trying to make changes. We are making positive changes in this world. But the minute you are judging, you are going against that positive change that you are
I
affecting.
like
onto
being
this
lower
world.
than you.
I kind of like looking down like this, actually.
I don't mind looking up.
I'm sure you don't
Hello.
mind. Yes, it is the world we're living in right now. In order to survive, you require money. Period. So it does not mean that one has to go for one to be. The same way as the saying is that we are all one. We don't suddenly kill off everybody who is a different race to say that we are all one and that we can all coexist together. We
Nice.
can't take away somebody, a different race of people who are of a different religion, just so we can all live together. We're going to live together with whatever we believe, with whatever perceptions we have, whatever religions we have. That is the whole point. In order to move towards peace, we have to be accepting of each other. We have to be loving of each other regardless of that. So we cannot necessarily, in this subject, take away the money world and to make this a world of peace. You cannot, because then you are automatically going against peace, because you are taking away something that is in existence. So how is it? It's deciding that it's a negative thing.
I've decided that war is negative.
Well, war is negative.
But you can't.
This
do
isn't
that.
hurting. I'm not talking about people hurting each other.
Okay.
I'm talking about something that is right now in existence.
War
like
is
a
right now
system.
in existence.
A system, a belief, an institution, a religion. These are all different systems, not individual on individual. Right now, the system that we live in is
Okay.
based on governments
Yeah.
ruling.
I don't believe in government
Okay,
either.
that's fine. It's fine.
At least
The
not the
people can
government we
believe what they
have
can
right
believe.
Today.
My point
Definitely.
is that
I get
we
Makes
this is what is right now. Whether
Okay.
we like it or we don't like it, it is what it is. It is in existence.
I know,
okay?
but we are trying to make strides
Right.
in order to
We-
change things,
yes.
like not having war,
In-
which is to
yes,
take it out of existence.
Exactly. And in order to make changes, which is peacefully, right?
Okay.
We don't go into war against something in order to bring peace. It just doesn't work out that way. It just does not.
Well, yes, it's contraindicated.
That's my
Fine.
point. So, what
No, but
we
I would
can
be
do,
fine if we got rid of all the money, doll.
I would
think
be fine
everybody
too.
would fine.
I think
So then
everybody would be
if
fine.
we took it away.
Yes, but
so
but
then
in the
we-
meantime that we are taking it away, I'm trying to get to my point.
Yes, I'm
okay?
trying to understand your point.
Okay.
Yes.
In the meantime, in order to better move or evolve this world
Right.
into a sustainable lifestyle, living with no money,
Right.
and that it is based on
Resources.
resource based,
Yes.
is we get there without fighting each other, without judging each other, we do it by supporting each other.
100%.
Period.
100%.
The minute you judge, you are going against everything that you say that you are. If you
are
are
from
if you are coming from a
conscious
spiritual
awareness,
conscious
yes.
awareness mindset,
Yes.
you are automatically common sense, pure fact, demeaning who you are by judging someone else.
We're going to take a moment to breathe now.
Okay?
Let's all just take a moment.
Breathe
Yes.
as I'm sliding down.
Let's all just take a brief moment. We can just focus on our breath.
Yes.
Very nice.
How wonderful would it be if there were, and I'm going to quote the great,
Me?
the great, I'm going to quote the great John Lennon,
Okay.
How great would it be? Imagine, just imagine. There is no countries, there's no war, there's no money, there's no religion. It's not that we are against what people are choosing to believe within themselves. It's the really what all this means is that we all really want to be able to coexist with each other regardless, but in truth.
I have hair in my face.
And
sorry.
yes, when you take away money and if it doesn't exist, it makes a huge difference in this world. A huge difference in our behavior,
Yeah.
in a huge difference in there will be no war.
Well, there's also a lot of
There won't be
labeling
any
and
starvation.
judgments
There was
based
a lot that there's huge amount that can be, but we are needing to get there, and we have to get there in a manner with the tools and the resources that are in existence right now.
Money does cause a lot of hierarchical delineation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
if you are making $1 million a year versus someone who's making $100,000 a year versus someone who's making $20,000 a year, for example, as a global society, we tend to think that the person making $1 million a year has more value to the rest of us.
And that's
they are
wrong.
more worth it.
Yeah.
They are more worthy. As opposed to the person with $20,000 who, I mean, like, send them off to war to get killed. What difference do they make in our world?
It's our conditioning.
When it's so completely ludicrous, because the person making $20,000 a year might be affecting thousands of people in an enormously positive way, whereas the person making $1 million might be affecting thousands of people in an enormously negative way.
Yeah.
And yet, just by the mere fact of the dollar sign attached to them, do we delineate their worth and we're doing this with ourselves as well, and with respect to that which we've been discussing regarding the holistic industry, the holistic health practitioners of our family, as well as artisans, and the list goes on. There are many that are in the same situation. There just seems to be quite a lot of anger, as Aline was indicating, within the industry itself. And I know we're using the word industry. It's
niche. I don't want to say niche.
It's
we're
just
trying to find the right words, but
lifestyle,
you just use multiple
beingness.
words. Yes, whatever you want to call it. Yes.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah.
Community maybe would be better. Holistic community.
Yeah.
But within the holistic community, there is a lot of anger amongst.
Yeah, and that goes against what it is that they're trying to be.
And we need to commune together in unity and support one another and promote one another and uplift one another to feel worthy, to be able to start seeing for ourselves just how worthy that we are.
We are.
We need to start with self. If we don't start with self, if we are completely reliant upon others, then we will never see just how fabulous that we are.
Really are.
And this goes for anybody in your day-to-day life, no matter who
what
you
do,
are, where
what
you
believe.
are.
Yes.
Just
Every
anybody.
single individual on this planet.
We all need to start to recognize our self-worth. Each one of we is a contributing member of our universal family. Each one of we makes a huge difference simply in being who we are. And if we are choosing within that being of who we are to be the best I that we can be, to be the I that we love ourselves to be an I that is loving and giving, then we are utilizing our experience of beingness for the highest purpose.
Yeah.
And there is nothing more worthy that any one of we can do.
It's it's not even just that. I think it's not necessarily, it's not at all about putting value on yourself. It's just about not demeaning yourself.
Well,
not
that's
comparing
true.
yourself to something that is higher or lower than the self. It's seeing yourself as you and the entity that is all onto its own, beautiful and glowing uh, on its own, as opposed to um, feeling the your importance, like you not feeling important enough.
But it's saying the same thing,
Yeah,
Dawn.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying that you need to see your worthiness.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. I just,
You
let me just say that
negated what I
again.
said
Let
to
me
say
say
what
it
I
the other
said.
way. Yes,
Yes.
it's
So
well,
you
it
are
is.
saying
Well,
the
yes,
same
because
thing.
sometimes we just don't. Sometimes it's good to repeat something, and sometimes it's good to say it however
Without
many,
negating it, though.
however many. Yes, of course, in ways that you can say it, because there's a multitude of ways to say one single thing. Is basically
I was just making
that.
myself taller than you for a second.
I think what's money, and I can understand why a lot of people do see money as quote unquote evil, is because look at it's done a lot of bad, but it has also done a lot of good.
Yes.
So it's also important.
It's really the people, not the money.
It's what we have Yes.
It's the people.
The money is nothing. It's what the people have done with the money.
Yeah.
Think about that one.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little moment. We'll be right back. Share the love, share the love, share the love, as we are here supporting everyone in this world. And how we get to assist one another is by sharing. Yes, that is the one most simplest thing to do, is to share.
No money involved.
No money involved.
Although we have a link for those who would like to, because we have received inquiries from those wishing to support and share the love in a more financial way through the energy exchange of money.
Which is exactly, so we provide two means of ways that we would be humbled and appreciative
of your sharing
the love. And one way is now that we are living in the world of social networking, and I love it because that's why we're all here. Look at that, we get to speak to each other. You're all the way in Kuala Lumpur and I'm all the way in Toronto, and how great is this? Right? So social networking is to share, to spread the word, spread the message of love and peace and unity and what we are here doing.
Uplifting, assisting, empowering, enlightening.
Exactly.
Communing as the community that we are, so that we can get to that point.
So that we can
that we are living in a resource-based society.
Down
we have to
here.
start helping each other.
That's right. Right here, you see the social stream. You see the social networks. You got Facebook, Twitter, Dig, Delicious. You got all these fabulous networks that you can share.
Which is right about here, right about there.
It's right underneath me, right here.
Is so just a little sign for Twitter, a T, and a little F for Facebook. And then there's a more. And if you click on that, that's where all of the things that Elaine is speaking about, the Dig and all of the other social networks. Yeah. So if you just click on Twitter, Facebook, and the more, you can get to everything and share this with just one click.
So this is the free way. It doesn't cost you anything. It only requires your generosity. The other ways you can also do it is, if you like what you see, all these videos are recorded and archived as well. And if you like one of them, if something you'd like to share them, you can also, if you have a website, you can also embed the actual video, any one of them, any of our shows, onto your website and share it that way as well. And of course, there is the other way that we do absolutely
appreciate.
Thank you. Assistance and sharing the love, and that is we do, and we are open and welcome any kind of donations, that which provides us the means and the ability to be able to be here today, to broadcast, to be able to do all of the services and the sites that we are maintaining for all to enjoy and to help assist and uplift.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, and so therefore, in assisting us,
Yes.
you are assisting everyone else who comes out to watch our shows, who reads any of our blogs, who interacts with us in any way, shape, or form, who may not have
just to
the
one person.
means
Yeah.
by which to show their love in a financial way,
Mm-hmm.
whom we give to freely. You are supporting them as well.
That's right.
And this is the beauty of money. Because we do, as Aline mentioned, live in this current economic society.
Yeah.
And as we have mentioned, because money is but an energy expression, and it is up to the individual who has it to choose how to use it, which determines whether or not it is a positive energy frequency or a negative energy frequency. This is one fine example
Mm-hmm.
of how money is a most certain positive energy frequency of love's
and
light
there you go,
for the benefit of all. Because that one person whom you may be assisting through us
made a huge impact.
Will assist everyone
else
around them,
Yeah.
who will assist everyone around them, and thus is your contribution exponentially affecting positively. And this is the power that we have. This is the choice that we have when we do see the value within ourselves and we use it appropriately.
Yeah.
So we thank you all very, very much for sharing the love, for showing your love, and for being here with us on Soul's Talking Brain.
Just to recap to make some announcements before I forget, actually. And we do this every week. We've got 2 shows here that we do on Being Love Network on Ustream. And that is one Soul's Talking Brain show right here, right now. That's every other Wednesday. And we also have another show with the lovely Ronnie Lipstein over here, and it's called Radiating Love with Ronnie Lipstein. And that airs every second Friday.
The alternate Friday
That's
to
right.
Soul's Talking Brain, yes.
And all the information that you require, if you just follow this Ustream link, if you're watching this and it's embedded, all you gotta do is just click on the video itself. It'll take you to Ustream, which is to our show page, to Being Love on Ustream, and you'll get all the information. Cool. Oh, another thing, actually, if you'd like to know anything else that is happening with Soul Talking Brain show, we do also have a Facebook fan page. That's just one of the many things that we do have that you can keep up with as well if you just like it. It would be really cool if you do, and that way you get to get all the updates that we are doing and notifying everybody. And so that's just facebook.com/souls.talking.brain. We also have oh my goodness, we have so many cool things. We also have the Facebook group that you can join as well, which is everything that we do. It's more, which is the main basis of the motherland, which is Sanctuary Soul Sanctuary, which is the
Mother Lotus?
Mother Lotus of
Main Lotus.
Main Lotus.
Yes, of all that we do.
That's right.
Of all that Aline and I, the double goddess of Sanctuary Soul Sanctuary, do for the benefit of all.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
Sanctuary Soul Sanctuary on Facebook. The URL is a small URL to make it easy for everybody.
Yeah,
to
they
be
can
able
also
to
just
go.
type in. I think it works that way. That if you just type in Sanctuary Soul Sanctuary on Facebook, that you should also get to the group page from there as well. And of course, any other ways, I can just give you hundreds of them, but the one main one that you can get to anytime, to everything, to all of our different sites and our shows and wonderful
That we
social
maintain
networks,
again
that's
on
right.
behalf of the all
Mhm.
is
It's just it's the address that you see right right there. I was going to say underneath.
I went to my booby doctor today.
Did you?
I got a
So
healthy
let's say
checkup, everybody.
Actually, it's under Ron's boob. Is one is all.com, and then one being the number one is all.com. I think yeah, that's the main one. Perfection.
Going with the flow card.
Going with the flow. Well, we would like to apologize for the not being able to do our Good Deed Doer segment this week. But however, we are going to be going with the flow cards this week. So we'll be doing one of them. Yeah.
Too bad, too late.
Too bad,
little,
too
late.
late.
Took down with a lean in the little bear. Isn't he cute?
Well,
Or she?
I would love this to
Say.
do this because this is somebody has to ask me something. Right?
Well, I'm not sure.
Maybe
if
you can ask me something.
I could ask you something.
Actually,
I'm not sure
we should,
if the
see.
chat and the social stream is even working.
Yeah.
Because we're not hearing. So
Seeing. I mean.
If you have been communicating and we're not
Yeah.
responding, we've been having technical difficulties with Ustream for the last couple of months. So it's been kind of not cool. But everything's for our highest happiness. So for whatever the reason is, we accept, we embrace.
Yes.
But if you have been, please know it's not that we're not responding to you or we're ignoring you. It's that we simply don't see that you're
yeah, we may
conversing
not
with
be
us.
able to see it for some odd reason. But in either case,
So our going with the flow cards has brought up tech time with Aline. Now, the reason it says tech time with Aline and not Ronnie is because this little lady over here is a technological guru queen. This Chiquitita over here is a self-taught
I'm okay. I'm not that great.
genius, okay? She went from knowing nothing with respect to computers to being able to program websites. She went from knowing nothing with respect to graphic design to creating the most magnificent campaigns, advertising, marketing campaigns, and all of these other fabulousness things, which she was self-taught.
I think that's what it is. That you find so cool is that I did teach myself these things. I didn't go to school for these things. I didn't have anybody.
Well, I
teach
think
me.
in relation
But
to what we're discussing
I think,
today,
yes, so
right, where some people will
she's
say
impressed.
some people will say a doctor deserves more because they went to school for X number of years. Well, you went to school for X number of years. It just wasn't a school in which somebody wrote on a piece of paper.
Well, life is a school, so you're basically going to school 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until the day you are transcending your body.
Exactly.
So
it should be
I
given
guess
the
I
appropriate
think,
value.
wouldn't
for
it be
that,
cool
right?
if the minutes you are transcending your body and you're leaving your body and it's and all of a sudden you get your diploma. Here you go. You can graduate.
You do. You get a death certificate.
You get a death. You do. It's the death certificate. That means you've graduated at the highest level, as you can imagine, of education. So yes, it is. It's I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my brain. I'm grateful for the experiences in life that has provided me the opportunities to learn what I have learned and to provide the services and the skills that I've taught myself. So yes, I think that's very cool. And anyone who does do that, and even if you've studied in school, I think it's just excellent. We are all amazing. Period.
I think we're actually here live today.
Yeah.
Because of her genius.
Well, with the assistance of everybody else. So, and other tools as well. So, again, which is the same thing, is that, we are just as worthy as anyone else because combined together, we are of equal contribution to.
Yeah, well,
to
we are an
everything.
interdependent
Yeah.
society,
So,
are we not?
self-will,
Global family.
self-worth, yeah, you got to remember that one. Because without you, something would not be working. And,
Well,
and there is no higher or lower.
Exactly.
It's an equal
Interdependent.
contribution.
Yes, mutually dependent.
Well, it's like the picture, you know, if you like, here's a little techie thing for you. You know, you take a photograph or you take, you know, like the screen that you're looking at, everything that's making up the screen that you're looking at, the picture that you see right now, which is us. Hello. is made up of little tiny dots.
Can we do that again, please?
It's made up of little tiny dots and they're called pixels. So, and you can't have this entire image without even a single pixel. Right? So every single pixel in here, not one single pixel has more value than another.
I'm loving this tech time with
you. Like this tech time?
I'm
it's
loving it.
Tech time a la esoteric.
Loving it.
Wonderful.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. That was really cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Wonderful. Before we go away, I just want to say that if anybody would like to get in touch with us for any anything, pretty much, we do advertising here on our show. We do we just want to be able to get in touch with us, and if you've got something to say, or if you have any ideas that you'd like to share, would like us to talk about, whatever that may be, you can get in touch with us at being wow.
Okay, so none of you saw that. You may have heard it, but an enormous amount of snow just fell either from the roof or the tree outside of our home, and it
was a lot of it's
like wow.
As the snowstorm continues here in Toronto, we just witnessed a massive, I don't know,
the universe embracing what we're about to say to all of you, which is, if you'd like to get in touch with us,
yes,
love yourself enough to so do by sending an email to beinglove@oneisall.com, which is what we all are. One. Yes.
That's right.
Interdependent. Each of we.
Cool. Are we good?
Yes.
Are you good?
Yes.
You're going to be seeing us again in 2 weeks on Wednesday, every second Wednesday. Stay in touch. Be well. Be good to yourself. Love yourself. And more importantly, have the best time doing what you love to do. And don't feel bad doing what you love to do.
In Lakesh Alakin, namaste.
Souls, talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world with the mind of those who see beyond the three-dimensionally. Souls, talking brain, ask the right questions, uncovers the blinds. Souls, talking brain, enlightening minds, oh yeah, seeking out truth. Souls, talking brain, ask the right questions. So